Spain, a land of vibrant culture and sun-kissed beaches, harbors a dark secret, the pervasive threat of domestic violence. Behind the facade of picturesque towns and bustling cities, countless women live under the constant shadow of fear and control. The statistics paint a chilling picture, revealing the alarming prevalence of violence against women within their own homes. This isn't just a private matter, it's a societal crisis that demands urgent attention and effective solutions. We must break the silence and shine a light on this hidden epidemic. Amidst the darkness of domestic violence, a beacon of hope has emerged: GPS tracking technology. This innovative tool offers a lifeline for women at risk, providing a crucial layer of protection and a sense of empowerment. By allowing authorities to pinpoint the location of a potential aggressor in real time, GPS trackers can be instrumental in preventing violence before it escalates. While not a panacea, this technology represents a significant step forward in the fight to protect vulnerable women. The true power of GPS tracking technology lies in its ability to save lives. Behind the statistics are real women, real stories of survival and resilience. These women have found security and empowerment thanks to this technology. Their stories are a testament to the effectiveness of GPS tracking in preventing violence. Every life saved, every woman empowered to escape violence is a victory. Technology, when used wisely, can be a powerful force for good. The Global Positioning System, or GPS, is a satellite-based navigation system that pinpoints a device's precise location on Earth. Originally developed for military use, GPS now guides us on road trips, tracks fitness, and helps find misplaced phones. It also offers a crucial lifeline for victims of domestic violence. By providing real-time location data, GPS trackers can prevent violence and ensure safety. The system relies on satellites transmitting signals to Earth. A GPS receiver uses these signals to calculate its precise location. Measuring signal travel time determines the receiver's location. Location data is transmitted to a monitoring center. Law enforcement can track movements to ensure safety. Real-time tracking can prevent violence before it escalates. Authorities can be alerted if a perpetrator approaches a victim. GPS is invaluable in transportation, logistics, and search and rescue. It empowers victims and provides a crucial layer of protection. Monitoring potential aggressors deters violence and offers security. GPS technology is making a tangible difference in the lives of those who need it most. Implementation in Spain, a system of protection. Spain leads in using GPS tracking to combat domestic violence. The government provides GPS trackers to victims and mandates their use by perpetrators. This approach shows promising results, saving lives and empowering survivors. It's a testament to Spain's commitment to protecting women and holding abusers accountable. Beyond tracking, holistic support for victims. While GPS tracking technology provides a critical layer of protection, it is just one piece of the puzzle. Addressing the complex issue of domestic violence requires a comprehensive approach that goes beyond simply monitoring the movements of perpetrators. Victims need holistic support that encompasses emotional, psychological, and legal assistance, empowering them to rebuild their lives and break free from the cycle of abuse. This support system is essential to ensure their long-term safety and well-being. Support services play a crucial role in helping victims navigate the often traumatic aftermath of abuse. Counseling and therapy provide a safe space for them to process their experiences, heal from trauma, and regain a sense of self-worth. Legal aid helps them understand their rights, navigate the legal system, and secure protection orders. Safe housing offers a refuge from their abusers, providing a secure environment where they can begin to rebuild their lives. The importance of community involvement cannot be overstated. Raising awareness about domestic violence, challenging societal norms that perpetuate abuse, and creating a culture of support for victims are all essential steps in eradicating this pervasive problem. Educating the public about the signs of domestic violence, promoting healthy relationships, and encouraging bystander intervention can empower individuals to take action and make a difference. The fight against domestic violence is a collective responsibility. Governments, organizations, communities, and individuals all have a role to play in creating a society where violence is not tolerated and where survivors are empowered to seek help without fear of judgment or reprisal. By working together, we can break the cycle of abuse and create a future free from the shadow of domestic violence. It requires a sustained commitment to change, a belief in the resilience of survivors, and an unwavering dedication to building a safer and more just world for all. Eleanor's story: finding freedom through technology. Eleanor, a vibrant young woman, found herself trapped in a nightmare. Her partner became increasingly controlling and abusive. The abuse escalated to physical violence, leaving Elena in constant fear. She felt isolated and alone. Desperate, Elena sought help from the authorities. She learned about a GPS tracking program for victims of domestic violence. The program offered hope and protection. The GPS tracker became Elena's lifeline. Knowing her abuser was monitored gave her security. She started to reclaim her life, step by step. Her story is a testament to the power of technology and resilience. Isabella's story is one of remarkable resilience and courage. For years, she endured physical and emotional abuse at the hands of her husband. One day, Isabella stumbled upon information about a local domestic violence shelter. With newfound determination, she packed a small bag and, under the cover of darkness, escaped with her children. The GPS tracker provided Isabella with a sense of security she had never known before. She could finally focus on healing and creating a better life for herself and her children. Sophia's story is a powerful reminder that domestic violence can affect anyone, regardless of their background or social status. A successful businesswoman and loving mother, Sophia hid her abuse for years, ashamed and afraid to speak out. The turning point came when Sophia's children witnessed her husband's violent outburst. With the support of a close friend, Sophia contacted the authorities and sought help. The GPS tracker not only offered Sophia a sense of security, but also empowered her to break the silence. Her story became a beacon of hope for other survivors, demonstrating that they were not alone and that there was a way out. Amparo's story is one of transformation and hope. For years, she lived in constant fear of her abusive partner. One day, Amparo's neighbor overheard her partner's violent outburst and called the police. The GPS tracker gave Amparo the courage to leave her abusive partner and start anew. With the support of therapy and a network of fellow survivors, Amparo began to heal from the trauma of abuse. Her story is a powerful example of how technology, combined with comprehensive support services, can empower survivors to break free from the cycle of abuse and reclaim their lives. Dr. Ana Martinez, a leading psychologist specializing in trauma and domestic violence, emphasizes the significant role GPS tracking plays in empowering victims. Law enforcement officials also recognize the value of GPS tracking in domestic violence cases. Legal experts highlight the role of GPS tracking in strengthening protection orders. Technology developers are continuously working to improve and expand the capabilities of GPS tracking systems. We're exploring new features such as automated alerts and improved communication between devices and monitoring centers, says David Garcia, a software engineer specializing in GPS technology. These advancements hold great promise for enhancing the effectiveness of GPS tracking and further empowering survivors. The psychological impact of GPS tracking on domestic violence survivors is profound. For many survivors, the constant fear of being stalked or harassed by their abusers is a debilitating burden. The restored sense of security provided by GPS tracking can be instrumental in the healing process. For children who have witnessed domestic violence, the presence of a GPS tracker can be particularly reassuring. GPS tracking offers a tangible sense of security, helping children to overcome the fear and anxiety associated with domestic violence. GPS tracking provides survivors with the freedom to live their lives on their own terms without the constraints of fear and control. From a legal perspective, GPS tracking significantly strengthens the effectiveness of protection orders. It provides a mechanism for real-time enforcement, explains Maria Sanchez. The use of GPS tracking in domestic violence cases has raised some legal and ethical considerations, primarily concerning privacy rights. Courts carefully consider the specific circumstances of each case before ordering the use of GPS tracking, ensuring that it is a necessary and proportionate measure. The admissibility of GPS tracking data as evidence in court is another important legal consideration. The legal framework surrounding GPS tracking in domestic violence cases is constantly evolving. The future of GPS tracking in the fight against domestic violence is filled with promise. One area of development is the integration of GPS tracking with other technologies such as smartphone apps and wearable devices. Another promising direction is the development of predictive analytics tools that can analyze GPS tracking data to identify patterns and predict potential escalations of violence. Expanding the availability and accessibility of GPS tracking programs is crucial. We need to ensure that all victims of domestic violence, regardless of their location or socio-economic status, have access to this life-saving technology, says Maria Sanchez. The future of GPS tracking in domestic violence prevention is bright, offering hope and empowerment to survivors and holding the promise of a future free from violence. A future free from fear, the promise of continued progress. The journey towards ending domestic violence is a long and arduous one, but the progress made through the implementation of GPS tracking technology in Spain offers a beacon of hope. The stories of Elena, Isabella, Sofia and Amparo, and countless others like them, stand as powerful testaments to the life-saving potential of this technology. These women, once trapped in a cycle of fear and abuse, have found freedom and reclaimed their lives thanks to the protection and empowerment offered by GPS tracking. The advancements in GPS technology, coupled with the dedication of law enforcement, judicial systems and support services, have created a powerful synergy in the fight against domestic violence. The continued development and refinement of GPS tracking technology hold immense promise for the future. Empowering survivors, support, advocacy and education. The true power to end domestic violence lies in empowering survivors. This includes support services, advocacy and education. Support services help survivors heal, regain independence and rebuild their lives. Advocacy ensures access to resources and protections. Education prevents domestic violence by promoting healthy relationships. By fostering respect, equality and empathy, we create a society where violence is not tolerated. A call to action uniting against domestic violence. Ending domestic violence requires a collective effort, a united front against a pervasive societal problem. It demands a commitment from individuals, communities, governments, and organizations to work together to create a world free from violence. This call to action is not just a plea for help, it's a demand for change, a call for a fundamental shift in attitudes and behaviors that perpetuate abuse. We must all become active participants in the fight against domestic violence. This means speaking out against abuse, challenging harmful stereotypes, and supporting survivors in their journey to healing and empowerment. It means educating ourselves and others about the realities of domestic violence and promoting healthy relationships based on respect, equality, and consent. It means holding abusers accountable for their actions and creating a culture where violence is never tolerated. Governments have a crucial role to play in enacting and enforcing laws that protect victims and hold abusers accountable. This includes providing adequate funding for support services, training law enforcement and judicial personnel on how to effectively respond to domestic violence cases, and implementing preventative measures that address the root causes of abuse. By prioritizing the safety and well-being of survivors, governments can send a powerful message that violence will not be tolerated. Organizations dedicated to combating domestic violence play a vital role in providing support services, advocating for policy changes, and raising awareness about this critical issue. These organizations offer a lifeline to survivors, providing them with the resources and support they need to escape abusive relationships and rebuild their lives. By supporting these organizations through donations, volunteering, and spreading awareness, we can contribute to their life-saving work and help create a safer world for all. Breaking the cycle, building a safer future for all. The fight against domestic violence is not just about protecting individuals, it's about building a safer and more just future for all. It's about creating a society where everyone feels safe, respected and valued, where healthy relationships are nurtured and where violence has no place. This requires a fundamental shift in societal attitudes and behaviors, a commitment to challenging the root causes of violence and promoting a culture of peace and equality. Breaking the cycle of domestic violence requires a long-term, sustained effort. It requires addressing the underlying factors that contribute to violence, such as gender inequality, poverty, and lack of access to education and resources. It requires investing in preventative programs that teach children and young people about healthy relationships, consent, and conflict resolution. By addressing these root causes, we can create a society where violence is less likely to occur in the first place. Building a safer future also requires holding abusers accountable for their actions. This means ensuring that perpetrators are prosecuted to the full extent of the law and that victims receive the justice they deserve. It also means providing offenders with opportunities for rehabilitation and education, so they can learn to change their behavior and break the cycle of violence. The journey towards ending domestic violence is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires ongoing dedication, collaboration, and a belief in the possibility of change. By working together, by empowering survivors, by educating our communities, and by holding abusers accountable, we can create a future where everyone is free from the fear and devastation of domestic violence. This is not just a dream. It is an achievable goal, a future we must strive to create for ourselves and future generations. For more technological and awareness stories like this, please like, share and subscribe.